From our studios in the historic Brooks Mansion, located in Northeast Washington, D.C., this is Student Exposure. Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, is often defined by its monuments and buildings, museums, and performing arts venues. Yet there are other attractions often untraversed by visitors and residents alike. Join us as we explore one of D.C.'s best-kept secrets, known as the Chuck Brown Memorial Park.
My name is Michael Marshall. My firm, Marshall Moya Design, were the architects who designed the Chuck Brown Memorial Park, located here in Langdon Park. I actually grew up 2 blocks from this site. As a kid, we used to play in Langdon Park a long time ago in the early 60s to mid 60s. And so I knew the evolution of the park. When I played here, we would come here for picnics, Memorial Day, Labor Day, and it was the green space for this part of the city. So having this memorial here for me personally was really an honor. We won a design competition to be the architects for this project. We put a lot of effort into it and it showed, and we made negotiations with the neighborhood to get the park, to get the Chuck Brown Memorial here. And now it's a real cultural attribute to this neighborhood and to the city. Our role as architect was to come up with a concept that would express Chuck Brown's legacy, his output and his performances, and just what he has done for the nation's capital as far as culture and music and aesthetics are concerned. Chuck Brown's significance to Washington, D.C. is that he developed a genre of music, go-go music, that started here, originated here in D.C. It's music that you would hear all over the world. So it was great that he came up with a style of music that had such an original sound and such an iconic way of using rhythmic music that it's all about DC. I know firsthand this is a great place, again, because I grew up here, and some of the same events still happen here. People playing horseshoes, that was something I grew up with. My folks were from the South, and we played horseshoes. There are barbecue pits. You also now have, just across the street, the Recreation Center, and further down the Aquatics Center. So this is a nice long stretch of urban park in the heart of the city, and I think it's great to bring families here. And hopefully when there are different events that will happen, that will be fantastic when people come out, when the Tourmobile is out there and they've set up and people are playing music, and not just go-go music, but all sorts of music that is original to DC and the type of things that people like to hear. So we've made this venue that belongs to the city. It's made by the city paid for it, it belongs to the neighborhood, and so we're happy when everybody comes out and uses it. It's just great for families. The Wind Me Up sculpture is very interesting. Again, it's an interactive sculpture that has LED lighting. It is almost sort of a cubist sort of construction of Chuck Brown actually performing. So they're images that are basically adhered to the sheets of steel, and it provides a sense of motion. You know, his performances will always kinetic. And then the call and response of it. So he's actually calling out to the park, to the people in the park. So his legacy lives on. We get a glimpse of what it was like to see one of his concerts. And that's, again, a great part of the park. It's right at the entry, and kids can go and play, and you can step on the different parts, and the lights move and change. And there's also information there about his life also. So again, it's educational. It's also physical. The kids get to move around and jump around on it. And it's a piece of art. And it's in the right place on the street and across the street from Recreation Center. So it's a real marker for this portion of the park.
What an incredible tribute to an incredible DC legend. Joining us to discuss this segment is DCTV student producer Devin Wheeler.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Now, that park is very special, as Chuck Brown is so special to the city. But what is it that makes it special and separates this park from others? What are some of the special features?
Well, I had the luxury of interviewing Michael Marshall for this project. And one of the things that it sets this park apart is that it's a neighborhood park. It's designed by Michael Marshall, who grew up in that park, who grew up in that neighborhood. And this park represents a DC legend. So I would say, number one, it's by the city, it's made from the city, and it's definitely a community-oriented space.
It's just beautiful, the landscaping, architecture, and all of that. There's so many things to see and do. And when you were there, what did you observe families doing to enjoy the park?
Yes, you should be surprised. The Wind Me Up Chuck sculpture is obviously the highlight of that space.
Oh, yes.
So there's so many people that stop in their cars and taking pictures, but it's also educational and definitely interactive, meaning that they can go to the tennis courts, the barbecue pits. There's several different playgrounds, and not to mention the instruments in the amphitheater that you can interact with. So it's definitely a good park to go to.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sounds like there's lots to see and do, very interactive, and you can relax and enjoy yourself. What a great, great place to visit. Devin, thank you so much for sharing this segment with our Student Exposure audience. We really appreciated that. From hand drums to horseshoes, playgrounds to performances, there's something for everyone at the Chuck Brown Memorial Park, located at 2901 20th Street Northeast in Langdon Park. For more information, go online to www.dpr.dc.gov.